Okay, so here we are with the chart of the Nasdaq. This is 4 hours. I don't know. I had this chart open on my computer. I don't know why I chose 4 hours. Some people do trade 4 hours, I'm sure. I'm going to go for 60 minute frame. Okay, so there was some action here, some shortable action at the beginning of the day. Let me take out the grids, the default grids of NinjaTrader. We just so that we know where the day opened. We're about half an hour into the trading session for this morning, and all right. So this is the action in the after hours. This is the action for the open, I suppose. Okay. Now, if you had been trading pre-market, maybe you've gone for a short at 843, 843 at the 8.8, and took a profit, and then market bounced back up. I'm really not sure what to make of this. Will they continue down? It is safe to assume that now that you've lost the 8.8 and gone down to the 2.8, actually this is a perfect move. I'll tell you why in a second. Let me just place an order to sell market.
Order filled.
So we sold market here on the NQ. Remember, this is a CFD equivalent to the NQ, so it's not they're not exactly matched. And this is a demo, so nothing to worry about. Don't okay, we're already losing 4 points on the Nasdaq. It's a bit steep, isn't it? Every point is $20. Anyway, okay, so I've shorted here at 9.789, around 9.789, and I'm going to buy back, or hopefully I want to cover my short at
Order submitted.
here at the 4.8, which is 9.765 and a half. So let's just place that there and go through the motions. Wait a second, what is this? This says we've already been there. I didn't even see that. All right, the red lines are they have a kind of magnetic quality to them, so don't expect the price to abandon them really quickly. It'll keep hovering around it. Look, it hit it in the morning and then bounced off it, and now it's come back to it, and even now I've shorted here, and it's still trying to get back to the 9804. Oh, I'm already 5, 6, 7 points in profit. No, nice. Okay, so I was saying this is a perfect move. Why would this count as a perfect move in a fractal system? Because let's count lines. Yes, from the 8.8, it was an 8.8 and then briefly changed and then came back to being an 8.8. So from the 8.8 we lost how many lines? 1, 2, and then we bounced back up. How many lines? 1. Okay. So you lose 2, you recover 1, and then you lose double that. Now you lose 4, and then you might come back to back up 2 lines again. So after a two line drop, we regained 1 line, and then from there we're going to lose 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. We might likely end up here and then bounce back up 2 lines, but I'm going to cover at 9765 no matter what, and since we opened on a 240-minute chart, which is the 4-hour chart, it seems to be a favorite also among traders. Let's look at what that chart tells us. Again, 9843 was a short here at the 8.8, and it was a handsome profit actually, 40 points, 39 points per line. So if you get two of these lines, then you're what, 80 points up on the 80 points of profit on the NQ. That's what, almost $1,600. But not every day is going to be like this. I mean, if you had been trading, for example, on this day, which is the day before yesterday, 2 days before now, I mean, look at how much time they spent. Every candle here is 4 hours. You would short at the 8/8 and hope to get a full breakdown, but then up and up, and they stayed up. Okay, so you made reasonable profit here, but they just didn't give you your two lines so easily. They really made you sweat for it. Yesterday, the same thing. No, the day before. You shorted, you got some nice profit, and then they took it all the way and then came back. Okay, but even though they pushed really hard here, and they didn't manage to cause a frame shift, the frame retained its extremities until when did this happen? Maybe overnight, maybe today, and I'm not really sure, but they finally, you see, all this time, when they spent all this time around the 8/8, and then here they dropped to the 4/8 on that day. Probably this was a 4/8, so we can get a confirmation of that if we choose all lines or majors. Let's see, the majors will include the 4/8 lines. See, this on that day, if you were trading on that day, the range was here, so actually it was a 6/8 here, so it's just 2 lines down. You were hoping for a 4-line drop, they didn't do it, and now you're looking for a, its market is still strong. They lost 1 line and then recovered halfway through it, and even now they're coming to me. They're coming towards where I'm waiting is towards what I'm waiting. It's 9,765. It's 10 points away. But look, there's a lot of fighting going on. There's a lot of bulls still in the market. Okay, so maybe we can take a chance on buying here, not just covering. We can buy and maybe hope to make like 5 or 10 points on the NQ. I think that's a good rate. Ideally, this would be the perfect buying line, but look, we're talking about 300 points on the NQ. I don't think it's reasonable to think it'll happen in one day. And anyway, this is a candle that is going to be going on for 4 hours, so there's plenty of time. Reduce your period, reduce your frame size, increase your frame size. It's all depending. Look at this. I changed to 15-minute, and you see those numbers are repeating themselves but in different positions. Now, if I were trading the 15-minute, this would have this is telling me to actually buy the 9,765. So I'm going to cover and I'm going to buy it. Let me put in now an order.
Order submitted.
And I'm going to move it here. Okay. So we're going to cover our short, and maybe I could just
Order submitted.
Okay, so
Order cancelled.
I'm going to cover at 9,765, and I will reverse. I'm going to take, based on trading the 15-minute chart. All right, so I'm looking for zeros and zeros to buy, 8s.
Order filled.
There you go. See, I covered my short with some handsome profit if I were trading the NQ. Now let's see if this buy here, ideally it should give me a 2-line advance if it's likely to continue up. Let's see. Right. For the sake of argument, I don't know if 10 points on the NQ is good for you guys, or good for people who trade it. I would say it is good. It's $200, which is about 40 points on the Dow Jones. That should be good. So let's place a sell
Order
limit
submitted.
at. We're just going to try to take one line out of it, which is 9 points, 9.77 points, the spread between one line and the next. And let's make this even harder on ourselves if things don't go the
Order
right way.
submitted.
I'm going to buy the 1/8 line, yeah, the minus 1/8 line. Already we should be, yeah, we're starting to make some profit by buying the 0.8 here. Yeah, I just want to again mention that you will notice that the numbers repeat themselves. You see, 9765 on the 1 hour chart was a +4 in the middle of the chart. On the 15-minute chart, we saw it, but it was at a 0.8. Now, you buy the 0.8 definitely, and the 4/8, yes, you buy the 4/8 as well. So either way, I have two confirmations now. One chart is telling me that we are at a 0, so you buy. This is the 15-minute chart, and the 60-minute chart is telling me, look, we've fallen from 8 till 4. You can expect a bounce of 2 lines up. Okay, so yeah, why not buy the 4/8? So I have two reasons to buy, and hope for some good profit here. A one line profit on this would be 19 points, or 19 and a half points, and the 15-minute chart is telling me I can make per line 10 points, which isn't bad on the NQ. Okay, but look, they're going to make us work for it. It seems usually when you have failures here, then you should be prepared for possible frame shifts if they break through the -2/8. Let's see. We're going to follow this now. I've got a bit of time on my hands, so I'll just I'm watching the FDAX on another screen. FDAX is now down to 12,800. So if I had shorted even 812.5, and I got dragged into a drawdown of what, 90 points, I still have a chance to break even at 812.5 now, even if the market was going to continue further up. But the line was an 8.8, so let's hope it goes, it continues down. I hope you're not long the DAX when I'm saying this. I'm sure the market will recover if you are long. This is my sense, just my sense. I'm more of a programmer, not a trader. So if you're long the DAX, and if you're holding it, and you bet the farm on it, may the force be with you. I think you're good, basically. On the NQ long that we
Order
took,
filled.
okay, so the first one lost. The first entry is in a loss of 10 points. We took another entry at the -1/8. Let's see. Now our break-even point is here at 9,760, because we bought one at 65 and another one at 55. Our break-even point is halfway between them. Let's hope they don't both lose. Let's hope at least one of them starts recovering, and we watch. Let me look at the 60-minute chart and see what that is telling us. I hope the frame hasn't shifted or anything. Okay, so you buy the 4.8, and and you wait. We're in profit already. Now look, one thing, especially when market is moving quickly, is you can have your order waiting here as a limit order to buy at 9765, which is what we did here, we did on the 15-minute chart. But a better approach, I would say, is to use a buy stops.
Order submitted.
Like, don't take the if you're afraid, or if you don't like going into a bit of drawdown, don't place limit orders. Instead, use a stop buy orders. Don't say to yourself, I'm going to buy the 4/8. This is the 4/8. And don't force yourself to buy the 4/8 just because it's a nice buyable point. What you do is set yourself a buy stop. You see, let them drop as much as they want, and then if they start going back up, you'll catch them on the up move, instead of you buying immediately and getting dragged through some heartache now until you've recovered. So I put in a buy stop here. Let's see. Now, if they get the 4/8 and bounce off it, all well and good. We'll be with them. We already have two positions that are working. They're in loss still, but I mean, we have two open positions. So let's see. So we have two open positions. One opened at the 8/8 and one opened at the -1/8, and then we have another position waiting to be opened at if we start going past the 0/8 again, which corresponds to the 4/8 on the bigger chart, on the 60-minute chart. Okay, this is not good, this is not good, this is not good, but let's see where that goes. See, you went into a drawdown, okay, but this position, the position we took here, is already in profit. This is a cumulative loss, or at least it's in break even. Let's see if this disappoints us or not. Let's hope it won't. Okay, remember, for me to call this a successful trade, I need this, the buy I made at the 0/8. I need that to actually start making profit. It's not very far away. It's about 5-6 points down. Maybe if you trade the NQ, you'd consider that a lot. But hey, look at this. Look at this. The beauty of the 0/8, the beauty of the 8/8 is really fascinating. I'm not talking about the indicator itself. I'm talking about the methodology, the fractal.
Order filled.
See, now order filled was the buy stop that we had waiting. We said we're going to wait for the market to bias into itself once they get past the 0/8. And it did. So now we have three positions. We have two positions here that are losing slightly now, both at the 0/8, and we have the -1/8, which is already in profit. But I'm hoping to make profit out of all of them. Let's see. We want a one-line profit, 9 points, 10 points almost on the NQ. Let's see if they give it to us. we're still minor profit, but I won't call it profit until we've started winning on all three positions, not just this one here. Okay, come on. There you go. All three positions are now in profit. Two longs at the 0.8 are starting to do well. The buy at the -1.8 is doing very well, I would say. 10 points. Let's distribute our cells and see which one gets filled.
Order
So
submitted.
we're going to sell one at
Order
a
submitted.
profit of a single line, then another at a profit of a second line, and then a third line. I'm switching to the 60. Let's see what's happening there. So I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Four hours. You want to see what the 4 hours looks like? Wow, this is scary now. Okay, now you've got 39 points per line, and we have the potential to drop to 9531, but not before we've come back to the 6.8, I suppose. So we're okay. Just out of curiosity, what does 30 minutes look like? Yeah, 30 minutes was also saying buy the 9765 on the 16 frame, of course. Let's go back to 15 minute. Alright, new candle is beginning to build on the 15 minute. Now, if you hate this idea of NinjaTrader resizing the chart all the time, you can control that with the auto scaling. Not in the indicator. There is multiple levels of auto scaling in NinjaTrader. You've got the auto scaling of the data series itself, so the bars. Now here, when it is set to auto scale, the actual, so even if you had no indicators whatsoever on your chart and you set auto scale, what NinjaTrader does, it looks at the farthest bar to the left and the farthest bar to the right, and then makes the chart range between the two. Okay, now, and then you add indicators. Indicators will have their own auto scale setting. Whichever is higher, let's say the indicator here was, if I had set the indicator to force auto scaling, and the indicator's highest visible point was somewhere, it is actually much higher. The indicator's highest point is in the 900s. Now if I do this now, if I tell NinjaTrader to auto scale based on my indicator, it'll try to show the entire visible part of the indicator, which is I don't know, it's a nice feature, or I don't like it personally. And while I was going through this, I think we went into a deep drawdown of 11, 12 points on all three contracts. Even the one we took at the -1/8 went briefly into a loss. Now it has recovered, and the two guys we have bought at the 0.8 are not in such bad shape. They're not too far away. They're almost about to start breaking even now, again for the second time. What you do in this case is up to you as a trader, up to your trading style. For me, if they keep me waiting for a long time to give me back my break even, I start considering this to be a failed trade, and I'll be planning my exit. I'll be thinking of an exit strategy out of this position. But I don't know. Nothing. Maybe I'm not too scared because I'm running a demo, but I think many markets seem to be dropping. The DAX is now back at 12,770 something. If you remember it from the morning, we covered our position there. Something is driving the markets down. I would start. I'm trading this 15-minute chart, and this is my trading frame. I would start to worry if the trading frame is breached to the downside. If they breach this level, the -2.8, I would start to worry. Of course, that would result in a frame shift where the 0 and 8 would change positions, but we still get our exit. I think we still get our exit at, even if that happens, I think this line, the 0.8, would become a 4.8. See, if you took this grid and you just pushed it down. Okay, so if this is your grid, when a frame shift happens, if it were to the downside, what happens is this. Okay, it moves, and of course it can expand or contract even. So you have lines that are, in this case we would have, if it's exactly the same range, if it maintained the same range of 9.77 points per level and shifted in its entirety, this is what we will have. We will have the 8.8 here, the 4.8 halfway through, and the new 0.8. Okay, but that has not happened. I think we're good. My sense is telling me that we're okay. Look, they made 2 attempts to breach the -2.8. Whether I count that as a bad sign, well, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I'm not great at trading, but if I were trading, and look, they've kept me waiting for, now it's half an hour almost. We're waiting for this line to be crossed, and it's not happening. I'll start thinking, lighten the load, or exit at break even, or wait it out. It doesn't seem to be. It doesn't look like I chose a good time to enter the market. But that's entirely up to you, of course. How you trade, what's your pain threshold, what's your stop loss level, and so on and so forth. For now, I'm holding my ground. I think I will get a chance to exit at this line no matter what. If I do, then the 2 trades I took here are breaking even, and the 1 trade I have here is in profit. Okay. Now remember, this is not a timing indicator. Okay, so this grid here, the speed lines, the momentum lines, and especially the timelines. The timelines are not really meaningful on this chart, but now we are coming up in the next 15 minutes. We'll come up to a red line, which should mark a reversal of some sort. So I don't know if we shoot up. Maybe I'll start now planning my exit. Where do I place my stops? Where do I take my profit? I have one waiting to be closed. I have one position waiting to be closed at 9775. That's 10 points profit. And since it has dragged on for quite a bit, I'll probably cover more than one at 9775, but let's just, for the sake of argument, keep it there for now. There you go. Come on, it's only 10 points, let's have it. We're okay. There you go. Almost there. Almost there.
Order filled.
Okay, so our first, let's consider it to be our very first order, which we bought at the 08, has now profited a single line. We have another one we bought at the same level later on, and we have one that is in good profit of 2 lines already. Let's see if it'll give us some more. I mean the one that we took at -1/8. Okay, so let me just get rid of the second one we bought at the 08. Let's see if we can sell it here. Okay, now this is a good time to tell you about when in any frame, when your recovery is only a single line up, that's not a good sign. That's a sign that chances are there's going to be further downside. Okay, now it's another reason that makes me think that will happen now is because now we have 2 bar. You see how they came close to the -2/8. They came down close to it, and now they can't muster enough strength to get 2 lines out of the bounce from 08. So you know, I'm beginning to get apprehensive about this position. A single 1/8 is just not a good sign for people who are long. People who will be long at 08, they will be looking for an advance of at least 2 lines, maybe 3, to tell them that there is a likelihood of continuing further. Now, if you get only 1 line, that's my understanding of how MM works. 1 line is no good. Okay, so you get your exit, you get your profit, and maybe wait it out. So that's why I moved my second buy to exit at this line. Okay, why take chances? We can always enter if the market confirms itself and it tells me that it's going back to 9843. Then I'll join the rally anywhere here, no problem. So let's get rid of the second one with a 10-point profit. Come on, come on. And we're almost there. Of course, I'm on a CFD feed. Okay, and forex brokers are notorious for this. They just won't give you the tick that you need. The price is always lagging behind the actual futures, and it can be manipulated by their servers, so they can feed you whatever price they want, well, within limits, of course. See, if I were trading the NQ, I'm sure there would have been a trade here at 9775.25. on the NQ, I'm pretty sure we would have gotten a fill here. But on the CFD feed, it's just coming just near it and just not crossing that line. So maybe I should reduce my target by 1 point. Let's see if they can make it. Maybe it's too late now. Let's see if they will fill us at around 974 point and a half. The position that we took here at -1.8 is nothing to worry about. It's already in profit, so you want to close it, you can go ahead. That would leave us with just the one we took at the 0.8. I'm trying to get rid of it to offload that here. And we'll let this one run, or we'll set a stop for it. A stop loss. How do you set a stop loss in this?
Order submitted.
Okay, so we're going to push that up to break even now.
Order filled.
There you go. So we got out of that position, the second position we took at 0.8. It just got filled, and now I have my stop at break even for the -1.8 purchase. Okay, now that we bought at 97.55, but this is not first in last out or first in first out. I'm not sure, so it counted the other two as I mean, what I mean is that we have more than 12 points profit here. We're already about 20 points profit on that last trade. So this is why you see a number here that is, see, now we've got two lines. Imagine you had 3 lots of NQ, and each one of them is already in 10 points profit. That would be nice if it happened every day, wouldn't it? Okay, so what are we gonna do? I tell you what, I'm going to play it this way. Now I'm assuming they've come up 0, 1, 2, so 2 lines. A retrace to halfway through that would still be acceptable. So I'm going to sell at the point where we have crossed 2 lines there, and I'll wait back to buy it back. You know, I'm assuming now that we're going to do another run towards the top or towards the midway point. So I'm going to sell here at the point where we would have profited by 2 lines, and then buy it back halfway through that room. But remember, they didn't actually just go 2 lines up. They've gone 1, 2, 3, 4 if we get here. Okay, sorry for getting sidetracked. This is still pushing up, still hasn't made the 2 lines that we want. The DAX, meanwhile, is continuing down. It's at 12,750 or thereabout now. This off. And there you go. We got our fill at this line. Let's see if we can buy it back here. Buy
Order
limit
submitted.
at 70.75. Okay, here they retrace to 775, and we have
Order canceled.
we have many positions now that have profited. We bought one here that made two lines. We bought two contracts here that both were exited at one line profit. You do the math if you want. So I'm going to buy one more here. I'm going to buy back what I sold at +2, what I sold at the 2/8 line. I'm going to try to buy it back at the 1/8 line, which is 10 points cheaper, and then hopefully I'll carry that for a run up to the 4/8. Okay. I was going to stop the recording, but I've got other things to do, so we're so close to, we're only 4 points away. I don't know what's keeping them. The market does what the market wants, I suppose. Let me just see. My impression was you make two lines up. Okay, that is kind of a confirmation that you're going to do 4 lines up. Okay, and 4 lines up is an indication that you want to go up to 8/8 again. But sometimes that turns out to be, I mean, from watching, that sometimes doesn't always have to be that way. So you see, this is not a magic bullet. You've got to you've got to act like a trader no matter what. So chances are I would be waiting here to pick it up. It didn't come to me. I'd be waiting here to pick it up, and I would pick it up thinking that this time I'm going to profit. And what do you know? It turns out to be this turns out to have been a trap, and we just tank all the way. So you should have your stops, even you're trading a reliable system, quote unquote. You should still use stops. You would know what is your pain threshold, and you would need to set your stops. And remember, especially in those violent times, COVID, the unrest in the US, there's a million things going on. Trump could say something and the market shoots up or shoots down, and you get caught short or you get caught long. Okay, you'll get your exit eventually, but you're going to be held, you're going to have a couple of sleepless nights before you do get your exit. Why bother? Just place your stop, and just because I said, hey, we crossed 2 lines up, that's no guarantee that we're going to head up. The market can still do what it is great at doing, which is saying no to your expectations. You say, I've got this great system, I've got these multiple indicators that I paid thousands of dollars for. That just doesn't mean anything when the market is moving violently, right? We're always talking about these frame shifts, right? Now, when the market moves violently, these frame shifts will happen so quickly and successively, you wouldn't know what to do. So just keep your stop ready at any moment, whenever, for any trade. Now look at this. Well, look at that. We squandered. We had a lot here. We had 2 lots here, and We only settled for 20 points and another 20 points at 40 points. If we had held, now we would have been up 30 points minimum on each of these three contracts, right? If we would have held, woulda, coulda, shoulda. This is the story of my life when it comes to trading. So I think as a trader I would settle if I could find something that'll help me get a finite number of points reasonably successfully every day. That should be my target. That I could have made more money here, but you know, if it were that easy, then just sit and face your screen 24 hours and keep making money and see if that works out for you. If it does, you know, congratulations. Alright, enough ranting for now. Let me pause the recording and go back to doing some of my own work for now. Catch you later.